Well, hello everyone, this is Joe Drums coming to you. I hope everybody out there is doing great. I'm doing awesome. Today we're going to be working on a little bit more on the Drums 2 Songbook 2. And the next song that we've got today is Day Tripper by the Beatles, which is definitely one of my favorite groups. And definitely one of my favorite Beatles songs is Day Tripper. It starts off with a moderate rock quarter note speed at 138. We are on page 10 in the book, and I'm going to explain a little bit of what's going on in each fill and each pattern, and I'll go through all of the repeat signs and everything, and we'll kind of take this one step at a time. And then I have the performance of the actual song that you can see me play it in its entirety right after I explain what's going on with the song. So we're going to start off, the very first thing that you see on page 10 at the very top, it says the intro. Of course, the guitar starts off playing the rhythm and the riff, and it's got 4 measures, and then we have another 3 measures, and then the third measure is where the drums come in. We have a half rest, and then it starts off with the floor tom, and we're doing 16th note triplets. If you've never done 16th note triplets at 138, it's pretty fast, so you gotta put on all the gas and get that really fast to be able to come in and then hop on with the crash and then go right to the beat. So I'll do the triplet slowly. It's just 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you're out with the crash and the bass, and then the beat starts. Okay? So a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, out. 3, 4, out. Okay, so I'm doing that. Okay. Alright, so once we do that, I'll do it one more time, and we're going to go into the beat. The regular beat is playing is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. When we get down to 1, 2, 3, the 4th line, right when it hits the chorus, we're doing 4 on the floor, which is meaning bass drums on all 4. And also the snare drum is going to be playing right along with the bass drum, and then the hi-hat's playing 8th note. So you're going to get this kind of a pattern, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? At the very last part, last line, the last 2 measures of page 10, the last 2 measures, the snare drum does something a little wacky here, which is playing 16th notes with the snare drum. So you're going, first of all, 1 and then the snare drum goes 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, I'll do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It does it one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, I'm going to play this whole thing, and here we go. We're going to start with page 1 without the music. I'm just going to play the part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now quarter notes. 4 on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last line. 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2. Okay. Now we're going to go on to the next page, page 11, and this says ending 1 and also ending 3. We're going to come back to the same thing at ending 3. But ending 1, still playing the 4 on the floor with the snare drum. We're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and stop. Right on that last measure, or I should say the middle measure, which is the third measure. And then we've got the floor tom coming up again. We're going to be playing the triplets, 16-note triplets again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to crash. 2, 3, and 4. 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and. Now right there is the double bar, double dot. So that means for us to go back to page 10. And you'll see right where the double bar, double dot is, where it has the verses 1, 2, and 3. And right there is again, the same main beat, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so I'll play that again right there. We're going to do that. And then we're going to go and jump over to page 11 when we get down to the end of page 1, page 10. We're going to go to page 11. We're going to go to the ending 2. And then we're going to keep continuing on during the guitar solo. And I'll break that up, and when I get to ending 2, I'll stop. So we're going to start over at, let's see, we're doing ending 1 again. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, 2, and 3, and ending 2. Now we're going to go right to the guitar solo. So we're at page 11. We're on the second line, actually. You'll see the ending 2, the number 2 with the little line above it. And then that tells us to keep playing those quarter notes on all 4 with the bass and the snare. And now we're going to keep continuing that, but it does something a little different during the guitar solo. We're going to crash with the bass drum on 1. So it's going to go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Right here, we're going to open up the hi-hat a little bit. You'll see the little O's above each hi-hat. And right where he says, ah, they're starting to see, they're doing a harmony section right there. And that's just kind of 1. Now we go down to the last line on page 11, and that's 1. Then he switches to the snare drum, crash cymbal, and bass drum. So you're building that crescendo right there. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then right there on the next page, we're going to play that crash, snare drum, and bass again. We're going to stop. And then we're going to do the floor tom again. 1, 2. This is on page 12. We're on the first line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do the beat again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2, 3, and 4. And now at the end of page 1, the end of the first line on page 12, you're going to go to DSL coda. So that means look for the fancy S. If we go back to page 10, you'll see the fancy S right on the second line there, right next to it says verse. There's where we're going to leave off again. Again, we're playing the same pattern, so let's play that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and third line. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4, 5. Now the quarter notes, we're at the chorus. Now we're going to go to page 11, and we're at the top of page 11 again, because remember it's ending 3 now. So we're going to still continue with the quarter notes in the snare drum on the bass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. And you'll notice there it says 2 coda. So remember on page 12 we said DSL coda means look for the fancy S. Then you have to look for the coda. So there's the coda. We're going to stop with the hi-hat, snare, and bass. And we're not going on to the next 2 measures there. We're actually stopping on hi-hat, snare, and bass where the coda is on page 12. You'll notice the second line right there. And it stops. And so we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we got 2 measures, well actually 3 measures each of repeat. So you're just kind of repeating rest because the intro's starting off again. The song's like it's starting over. And you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Then you go on to the second set of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Now we're on third line, last page, page 12. We go 1, 2, and there's those triplets again, 16 note triplets. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2. Now, it does this thing called a quarter note triplet. Now, quarter note triplets start off like this. They go 1 and 2 and Okay, in this case, we're going 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and and then we do the beat again. So notice it's flam on the snare, flam on the first tom, because that's where Ringo, he had that one rack tom and then one floor tom. But this just goes snare, flam, tom, flam, back to snare, flam. We go on to the next 2 last lines. Here we go, crash. 1, 2, and then he decides to go to the floor tom again and do the 16 note triplet. 3, 4, and then we crash again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now the last line. 1, 2, and notice we're going to flam on the snare and the tom together. We're going to go with the left stick, or you can do right too, but it would be, I'm going to do it left stick first and flam like that, and then I'm going to switch and then play it like this, flam, and then I'm going to do another flam. So I'm just kind of alternating back and forth. Flam, flam, flam. Then crash, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and then it's and 4 and crash. So it's 1, 2. All right, and that is the whole song completed. Again, if you have any questions about what I just did there, I know it's a little crazy by jumping back and forth with all these repeat signs, coda signs and, the DSL coda sign and all that, and double bar, double dots. There's a lot of things that you have to remember, and it tells you certain things to do so that you don't have to have a song that's like 10 pages long. This is only 3 pages, but it could have been like 4 or 5, maybe 6 pages long, depending on how many things we had to repeat with the same pattern. So it makes it easier for the writer, and the reader just has to follow that, and make it understandable that when you play that fancy S, you got to look for the coda next, and that's kind of the rules. It's kind of like stop signs. You know how to, when you're driving, you know how to look at a stop sign, a yield sign. It's the same thing. You know the signs, so as soon as you see the signs here, kind of look at it the same way. You have to go somewhere, you have to go here, then go there, and stuff. But again, if you have any questions about anything that I did today with Day Tripper, please feel free to drop me a line. Please like and subscribe. I hope you guys do that. I'm the only drummer that's out here online on YouTube that's doing this book. Nobody else is doing this book but me. I've checked on it, and so, it's interesting that I'm the only one that's doing this, but again, a lot of people are doing Day Tripper. They're playing, performing it, but I'm actually showing you how to do it because I'm a drum teacher, and I've been teaching over 40 years. And again, I like to, spread the knowledge of playing drums and having fun doing it. And so it's important to do that. Have fun playing, have fun reading, and knowing what you're playing. And also, it's like you're playing like to the record, So if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to drop me a line. Until then, I'll see you on the next song we've got coming up. We'll see you on the next video. Until then, you guys take care. Keep rocking. This is Joe Drums signing off. And here's my performance of Day Tripper. Hope you like it. Take care.
Drums 2112. Joe Drums 2112.